Hey everyone, certified high performance coach Michelle Wimmer here. Thank you for joining me for today's Wednesday Wisdom. And in honor of the month of October and Halloween coming up, our topic this month has been all about fear and how to overcome that fear. So today, the quote that I want to give you as we get started is from Jack Canfield, and it's simply the thought, everything you want is on the other side of fear. So think about that. Like, what do you want most? Think about those things that you want so badly, and what usually gets in our way of walking that path or taking the actions necessary to get to that thing that we want is our own fear. And, I get it. There are obstacles along the way, like things come up. Maybe we need to learn a concept or a skill. Maybe we need to practice and prepare. But when it all boils down to it, the thing that holds us back the most from even maybe learning those skills or those concepts that we need to reach our goal or achieve our success, or stepping out and asking somebody for something that we want or need, it's that fear. Fear gets in our way. So I want to tell you a little story to give you an example of a metaphor for how to really step through or walk through to get to the other side of fear. So every year here, there's a haunted trail. It's called Hell's Trail that a group of people put on in our area. And it's like a haunted house, but it's out in the middle of nowhere. And you walk through this trail, through different buildings and things that they have set up that, of course, scare the shit out of you, right? It's like, that's the whole point. It's to scare you, let you feel that fear. But I remember when my girls were little, they wanted to go. They wanted to go with all of their friends, and it has actually now become a tradition. Like every year we do the trail. But when they were little, and that first time, there was fear. They were afraid, and so of course we talked to the girls ahead of time about doing this trail, and they had that fear, but they also had that excitement, right? Because they wanted to do it. They wanted to have that experience, just like maybe you want something in your life, but you have fear holding you back. And there's that part of you that's excited and anxious, like you want to do this, but then there's that other part of you that's scared. And so what we talked to them about is how, everything that they're going to experience, their fear is part of their perception, what they're going to experience, and how their imagination can take those fears, those perceived fears, and make them real to them. So we wanted to remind them that no matter how scared you get, no matter what you're walking through, remember, it's not real. It's just your imagination. It's just your perception of what you're experiencing. There's not really a guy there with an axe ready to kill you. That's the perceived fear, right? So same thing holds true for us in our lives. Like, we have perceived fears. Maybe we're afraid that we're not good enough, or that we're going to fail, or that people are going to look down on us for going after something we want, or we're going to be judged. And yes, could those things happen? Sure. But the real fear is in how that might hurt, or how that might feel for us. And, the reality is that's up to us. That's within our control. Yes, maybe somebody's going to say something or judge, or maybe somebody's going to say no to you, when you ask for something that you want. But you have control of how you're going to feel about it. And your fear of this could hurt, or this could be difficult, or this could be hard, that's yours. That's your perceived fear. And the reality is, no matter what we experience, even if we experience failure, because let's face it, that's one of our biggest fears of all, is failure. Even if we experience failure, our perceived fear is what's going to hurt the most, because failure is really just an opportunity to learn. You can see it as, okay, that didn't work, so what can I do differently now? That's your perception. Or you can see it as, well, I failed, it's all over, I'm done, I can't, I'll never be able to do this. So your perception and the fear that you bring with that is what really determines whether you get to the other side of that fear or that failure. So again, back to this haunted trail that the girls would go on, that first time, and they're little, they were scared, they were apprehensive. And as we walked through the trail, even though they were afraid, they kept walking. We kept encouraging them. Of course, we were there for them. So what does that say? It's like, hey, if you're afraid of something, get support. Get somebody to walk the journey with you, whether it's a mentor, a trainer, a coach, or your friends and family. Like, get people on board to support you through this thing that you're fearful of, so that you can have what it is you need, whether it's, again, somebody to educate you or train you, or a coach or a mentor to help you work through that fear, or just the support of your family and friends to keep encouraging you along. That's what we did with the girls, right? Like, we were there to support them, we were there to help them through their fear, and we were there to keep encouraging them to keep taking steps and moving along. So guess what happens? They get through it, they get through the other side of that fear, and when they come out on the other side, they're laughing, they're giggling, they're talking, they're excited. They've just overcome their fear, which then gives them more courage to do more because they feel empowered. So guess what they wanted to do? They wanted to go to more haunted houses. And so that's what we did that night. And again, since that time when they were little and we had that experience, every year they go back. Every year, the anticipation and the excitement of, oh my gosh, the fear, but they walk through it, they go through it, and they come out on the other side happy that they did it, excited, having fun, being proud of themselves for going through it, and feeling more courageous and more empowered every time. So this is, again, as I say, it's like this metaphor for life, right? We always have new experiences. We always have opportunities to work towards that end game, that end goal that we have. And we can let our perceived or our imagined fears get in the way. And, again, not to say it's not real fear, but the reality is that most fears are not really going to hurt us. They're not life-threatening. It might feel uncomfortable and it might not feel great, but it's okay. Like, you can work through it. So get that support, right? Get somebody to walk alongside you through that trail, and that stuff that you fear. Have that courage and keep stepping. Like, take that first step and then keep stepping. Keep walking, because when you do that, you're going to get to the other side of that fear. You're going to walk through that fear. And when you do come out on the other side, you're going to be proud of yourself for doing it, regardless of the outcome, right? Whether you succeed or fail at the task at hand, you're going to feel proud of yourself that you did it, that you took the risk, that you faced your fears, and that you had the courage to do it. And you are going to, because of that, have more courage, more motivation, and more empowerment to be able to take on that next challenge, to take on that next thing that you fear. You're going to be ready for more. And it just becomes a cycle of that. But when you let fear stop you, you never learn that. You never go through the fear, and you never get to the other side to know what it feels like to experience that success of just simply walking through the fear. So I want to challenge you this week to think about what it is you want and decide that you're ready to commit to walking through the fear, right? To get to the other side of it and get those people in place, get the support that you need. Know and recognize that the fear, most of the time, it's perceived. It's not real. It's okay. You're going to make it through. You're going to survive. Even if the outcome, again, isn't everything you want, even if you try to achieve something and you don't reach that goal the first time around, it's okay, because you can keep walking through it. You can keep going, and you've got the support that you need there. And you know what? If you don't have the support you need, or if you're not sure you have the courage that it takes to walk through that fear, let me help you. I would love to do that. My newest program that I have out is actually the Success Mastery Group Coaching Program. This program teaches you how to create more courage for yourself, how to walk through that fear, among other things. There's so many other skills that I'm going to be able to teach you in this program to help you achieve that success that you want. And you not only have the support of myself, but also the people that you're in the group with to walk that journey with you. So if you want to learn about that, I'd love to have a quick conversation with you. You can send me a direct message. You can post here. You can, if you know you're ready, just go to michelleweimer.com/SMG, Success Mastery Group. Get yourself signed up and let's have a conversation about what it is you want to achieve and how you can walk through that fear to get to the other side. So until next time, I want to thank you for joining me today for our Wednesday Wisdom. And guess what? Next week, I am going to be talking to you a lot more about how to know what's a real fear and what's a perceived fear, and then how to really work through that. So make sure you join me here next Wednesday at this exact same time, because I want to share that with you and get you moving through to the other side of fear, because everything you want, as Jack Canfield says, is on the other side of fear. So until next time, again, this is Certified High Performance Coach Michelle Weimer. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.